Hey there, I'm William.
I'm David.
And I'm Audrey.
And we are Walterhoope. And you're listening to Wellspring Podcast, brought to you by Walterhoope, a Cincinnati performing arts company.
I'm gonna be real with you. This was a monster of a project for us, and a lot of people volunteered a lot of time to bring this to life.
So if you like this podcast, please know that this took a lot of work to do. We are a small company. Please share it with your friends. You can't imagine how much that means to us. And if you really love it, donate at our website, walterhoope.com.
So, without further ado... Here she is, sir.
Ataraxic?
Somnus root.
I see. How much longer does she have?
5 more minutes?
All right, sit her down.
Fulcrum.
Are we recording the room?
Yes, sir, I believe so.
Double check.
Yes, sir.
Audio and visual.
Yes, sir.
Do you want her detained, sir?
That's not necessary. I would like coverage outside the door, though. 2 guards.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and my pill with the coffee. Coffee for the lady as well.
Yes, sir.
Well, it is good to see you again. Excuse me, could one of you find Dr. Lee and tell her I'd like to insert the tracking chip before she wakes up?
Yes, sir.
And be quick about it. Two sugars.
Yes, sir.
And the perimeter?
Secured.
Good. Could you check on Dr. Lee? Tell her to hurry the hell up.
Did somebody say my name?
You, out. What took you so long?
I'm sorry, sir. I was in with a patient.
Well, we've got
Code
him.
99, I heard. Wow. Is it really her?
That's what Maria seems to think.
Somnus? How much longer does she have?
A few minutes.
Great, can I see her ID?
She doesn't have one.
No ID? That's odd. Well, for now, she'll be patient 9836. We can add her name when she gives us one. You'll feel a little prick right above the wrist, love, but after that, you won't even know it's there.
She's unconscious, Lee.
And all done. Now that wasn't so bad, was it?
Prepare a room for her.
In the lab? Shouldn't she go to processing first?
We already lost her once. I'd rather not make the same mistake again.
But we need to know her vitals in order to measure her proper dosage.
Surely you can estimate. You've done this enough times now, haven't you? Patient 9836, right?
Yes, but...
That's in order, Doctor.
Yes, sir. When should we expect her?
15?
15 it is.
And Lee?
Yes, sir.
You do know what's at stake here, don't you? Because if you don't, I can find a doctor who does.
Yes, sir. I do.
15 minutes.
Who are you?
My name is Dr. Jack Ford.
Jack.
And you?
Jack Ford? Yeah, I'm sure it is. Jack Ford is dead.
Oh?
He died at Wellspring.
I can assure you, I am, in fact, quite alive. You see, they even gave me this little eye tag with my name on it.
Wellspring? How did I... There,
You shouldn't blame her, you know. She didn't have much of a choice in the matter. You're probably still a bit groggy. Here, have some coffee.
Yeah, I think I've had enough hot beverages for today, thanks.
Suit yourself.
How? You weren't at any of the trials. Everyone thinks you're dead.
It was quickly decided that it was in everyone's best interest if I was no longer the face of the facility. Hopefully that can change soon. What are you going by these days?
What?
Your name.
What do you want from me?
That's pretty obvious, isn't it?
Okay, look, I'll stop asking questions. Just let me go. I'll mind my own business.
Unfortunately, it isn't that simple. You see, you have information that is very valuable
Information?
to me. Don't play dumb. You and I both know it's against the law to have an undocumented Katoi running around Trappist. Now tell me the information I need, or we'll have to force it out of you.
Oh, whoa. I think this is all a big misunderstanding.
We figured eventually you'd pay Beret a visit, but took you a while, didn't it?
What are you talking about?
Look, I don't have much time for games, so I'm just gonna cut right to the chase. Where is your mother?
Foster mother? She's in Baton.
Please don't make things difficult for yourself.
What? No, I swear that's where she is.
You know damn well I'm not asking about your foster mother.
My real mother? She's dead. She died alongside my father in your facility. I mean, you should know they worked for you. Last name Tomlin. Look him up.
You think I don't know who you are?
No, I just don't think I am who you think I am. I'm not an undocumented Katoi.
How old are you?
23.
And you grew up in a foster home?
Yes.
And your birth parents?
We're scientists at Wellspring.
Is that what she told you to tell us?
Who? Oh, no. No, you think I'm the child.
Listen, I don't want to hurt you. Or your people, or your mother, for that matter, but let's not make this more difficult than it has to be.
No. I'm not the child. I'm not the child that was taken from Wellspring.
So you're Trappist?
Yes.
Then what were you doing at Berea's?
I was working on an article, investigative journalism.
About Wellspring?
Yes, but...
You see why I'm finding your story uncredible?
Okay, yes, you're right. I'm the same age. We both grew up in foster homes, both have a connection to Wellspring. I know what it looks like, but I'm not her, I swear.
Take a look. It's quite the resemblance, wouldn't you say?
No. That is impossible. My mother was a scientist at Wellspring. Her last name was Tomlin. Look her up.
Look, I admit things were pretty unorganized back then. What can I say? Your people caught us by surprise, and I might not have had a personal relationship with the entire Wellspring staff. But I knew my scientists, and there were no Tomlins.
You're lying.
No. Wait. You're serious? You have no idea who you are. And yet you're here. Well, stars align. I'm sorry to be the one to say this, but someone has not been telling you the whole truth. Look, I'm not trying to hurt you. This planet is your home. It's all you've ever known. I get that. I do. And I'm not trying to take it away from you. But you need to understand that there are some very bad people that are trying to do just that.
My mother.
That's right. You say you're an investigative journalist, yes?
Yes.
And what were you investigating?
Unethical treatment at Wellspring.
I don't know who you've been talking to. But you obviously don't have much sympathy towards my organization, and I understand that. I do. We made some poor decisions back then. But honestly, even if I could go back, I wouldn't do things differently, given the circumstances. We had no idea your people were coming, completely blindsided. What were we supposed to do? You could have been some alien race planning to wipe out our entire civilization for all we knew. Deadly diseases could have been transferred on either side. We had no options but to create a controlled environment and proceed with caution, and that's all we did. And I realize it's a pretty shitty life for your people. And I admit that we had piss-poor organizational skills and exactly zero time to plan, and some families got separated, and I feel bad about that. I do. But as an inhabitant of this planet, I had the responsibility of protecting my people, and that's what I did.
But they weren't destructive. They have the same anatomical design as Trappist. They're no different.
Who told you that?
And you kept them here, ran tests on them, gave them injections.
I told you I did what had to be done. Sure, the Katoi look the same, but so what? Technology is advanced and advancing by the day, and who's to say it isn't advancing even faster on other planets? Who's to say that these aliens didn't mask their DNA to look like ours? Who's to say they didn't carry hidden diseases deep in their chromosomes, diseases that Trappist technology could not yet detect?
No, you experimented on non-consenting individuals, and now a whole race is dying right before your eyes.
What, asperitis? That's exactly what I'm talking about. Asperitis is exactly what Wellspring was trying to prevent from happening. Our scientists even knew your lungs would have difficulty adjusting, and we're trying to understand it.
You were trying to help.
Yes!
Then why aren't you helping now?
I don't follow.
Wellspring has the cure. Why hasn't it been released to the public?
Oh, that's just business and politics. It's only a matter of time.
Well, why don't I have it?
Of what?
Asperitis. If Katoi lungs can't handle Trappist air, like you said, why don't I have it? I'm Katoi.
Oh, I'm sure you do. Symptoms might not yet be present, but there's no doubt that in your lifetime you will be diagnosed. We have doctors here in the facility. They could run a couple of tests before you leave. You'd have the results back in less than a week.
You're serious?
Quite.
I wouldn't let your doctors touch my body with a 10-foot pole.
Look, we are not the bad guys here. I'm sincere when I say that all we want is the best for the people of Trappist, and that includes you. You know what all the activists seem to sort of glide over when speaking of Wellspring? Is the destruction caused by the Katoi 20 years ago.
The uprising?
Is that what they're calling it? I call it terrorism. Do you know how many lives were lost that night? 212. For what?
I don't know. Freedom?
Freedom? From Wellspring. You know how many conspirators there were? Or has your investigation not taken you that far?
I don't...
50. These people were in the vast minority. The majority of residents were quite content. 212 innocent lives. They should have been the ones on trial.
Okay. So why'd you try to kill me?
Kill you?
That night, when I was taken, my sources tell me you had a needle.
Who have you talked to? Max? Oh, the big guy. What was his name?
If Wellspring had such great intentions, why would you kill a baby?
I wasn't trying to kill you. I was trying to protect you. I'll admit, when I first got word of your existence, I wasn't thrilled. I did my best to keep you a secret. If my superiors had found out that a Katoi baby had been not just born, but conceived under my watch, oh, I would have been finished. At this point, our doctors knew your people's lungs wouldn't hold up. Hell, we had begun preventative treatments. At first, I refused to administer them to you. It would mean I had to report it, which meant you would have been documented, and... I was young, and my career was on the line. Your mother was there to complete a deal. A C-16 shot in your protection for information from Berea about the terrorists.
So, the needle wasn't poison? It was...
A preventative treatment.
From what I heard, your relationship with my mother didn't sound so friendly.
Yeah, well, the deal was compromised the night of the incident. We weren't in the room for more than 30 seconds before all hell broke loose at Wellspring. Explosions, alarms. I was angry, yes. Your mother and Berea weren't idiots. They were trying to eat their cake and have it too. Berea knew when her people were going to act, exchange information, my ass.
So what was your plan? What were you going to do with me after you found out they weren't going to hold up their end of the bargain?
I wouldn't have let you die, if that's what you're asking. I even tried to administer the treatment anyway, after they left the room, but...
You were injected instead.
I'm telling you, I'm not an evil person.
And what do you want with me now? To put a tracking chip in me?
No, none of that. As I mentioned before, your birth mother is posing a serious threat to this planet we call home. We are still unsure of the details of her attack, but know she has been planning something for quite some time.
How do you know?
Well, for one, she's been off our grid for a while. I don't know how she managed to do it, but her chip is no longer activated. Secondly, sources tell us she's recruiting a Katoi army and transmitting signals to space.
What do you think she's trying to do?
Personally, I think she wants revenge. To destroy Trappist life as we know it.
And you want me to do what? Stop her?
No. No offense, but it'll take more than that to stop her. You could be a great help in discovering her whereabouts. You're already well on your way. We have a number of contacts who would eagerly give up her location if they knew you were her daughter.
What's in it for me?
Well, I would hope saving the only planet you've ever known from destruction would be enough of an incentive.
No thanks.
I'm sorry?
Don't act like you're doing all this for Trappist or the good of the people, because as much as you don't want to hear it, the Katoi aren't going anywhere. They're an integral part of Trappist society now, and honestly, I think the sooner you and your people get that through your thick skulls, the sooner this planet will see peace, so no thanks. Yeah, I'll pass on helping you find and kill my mother, but thanks for the coffee.
Where are you going?
I'm leaving.
You didn't think I'd let you just walk out, did you?
Get your hands off me! I have legs that can walk! What do you want with me?
I told you what I want. If you cooperate, do everything I ask of you, I'll let you walk. I'll let you carry on living as an undocumented Katoi for the remainder of your days.
And if I don't help you?
Well, you don't need me to explain the disadvantages of being a Katoi on this planet, do you? Because there are quite a few. It's up to you. Do you want to go home? Go back to living your Trappist life? Or not? It's that simple. I can even leave the room if you need time to think about it.
Home. What home?
Sorry?
You say home, as if it's some grand incentive that'll bend me to your will, but that word means nothing to me. Home. Home. I've spent my entire life trying to make something out of that word, trying to figure out where I come from and where I belong, and trying to make do with the in-between area that is my life. I've been living a lie, and I finally know who I really am, and you think I'm just gonna choose to ignore it? For what? So you and your evil minions don't prod and poke at me, so hateful Trappists don't view me as lesser than? Well, I've got news for you, Mr. Ford. I'm Katoi. And there's nothing you could say or do to change that, and I'll gladly accept all of the perks that come with the name.
So, that's a no?
That's a hell no.
Well, it saddens me to hear that. You do understand that we don't really need your cooperation to proceed with our plan. I was just offering an incentive out of the kindness of my heart.
You're a monster.
No, it's my turn to talk. You see, I'm fairly certain that if we keep you here long enough, eventually Corey will catch wind and show up to rescue you. It's kind of what mothers do, if you didn't know. Send in Dr. Lee, please. Patient 9836 needs a little help getting to her room. Hello? Is this thing on? What the? Can someone please send Dr. Lee with an ataraxic? Now, where was I? Oh, that's right. Stay here with the girl. Don't move her until I...
Wellspring was created and produced by Walterhoope in Cincinnati, Ohio. This episode was written by William Vaughan, with performances by Audrey Bertaux, Jeremy Dubin, Teresa Spencer, William Vaughan, and Dylan Oseas. Dialect coaching by Teresa Spencer. Music by Dylan Oseas and intro theme by Dylan Oseas and Peter Foley. Additional sound design by David Mavricos and William Vaughan. Editing and mastering by David Mavricos and Kaleel Skeirik. Special thanks to Peter Foley and Walterhoope's resident artists, Kelsey Nihiser, Teresa Spencer, and Kristen St. Clair. Wellspring is a Walterhoope production.